What is up YouTube? My name is Happiness and welcome to my channel. So we're gonna react to Afrikaners that have arrived in America, and we're gonna hear what people are continue saying about these people who left South Africa for America. So let's continue.
When you run away, you're a coward. And that's a real cowardly act.
The ANC is a deeply corrupt party. Again, you don't have to be speaking about Mandela to talk about the ANC. The modern ANC is closely tied with the Chinese Communist Party. They receive money from it. They're also closely tied with Vladimir Putin's Russia. They're closely tied with Iran, which it's now suspected probably bribed the country to initiate an international court of justice case against Israel just last year. The ANC has been losing electoral support over the years. It doesn't have a sheer majority in the legislature. It's in a national unity government with Democratic Alliance, which again opposes some of these things. But Democratic Alliance isn't standing up to the point that they can actually stop this agenda. Okay, so he seems like a delightful fellow, a bunch of communists who are shouting to kill the Boer, because never in the history of humanity have we ever seen communists attempt to exterminate an entire class of people. I mean, except for pretty much every communist regime everywhere. So yeah, you might see why South Africans who are white feel that they themselves are under threat. So why is it a big deal that Afrikaners are being granted refugee status to come to the United States? Well, the reason is because the left is utterly puzzled at the idea that white people can ever be refugees. Ever. And they're absolutely puzzled at the idea that has been expressed by, for example, the State Department Deputy Chris Landau, that Afrikaners might have an easier time assimilating in the United States than, say, Afghan refugees. Here's Chris Landau talking about this yesterday.
That pause, of course, was subject from the very beginning to exceptions where it was determined that this would be in the interest of the United States. Some of the criteria are making sure that refugees did not pose any challenge to our national security and that they could be assimilated easily into our country.
It's interesting that they're using Shapiro to spread out their propaganda on black people in South Africa and the cause of white genocide, which doesn't exist. But what do I know? Let's just continue.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm not sure if these are Afrikaners or they are Americans who are opposed to what is happening in America.
Do you think that this group of white South Africans should be considered refugees or not? Because, fun fact, they're actually the only refugees that America has allowed into the country since Trump took office. They've completely suspended their refugee program and even denied entry to people from war zones. So why did they accept 59 people from South Africa today? Well, some claim there is a genocide taking place in South Africa against white farmers in particular, and that the government recently passed laws that allows them to legally take land from white farmers at their discretion. Many white farmers claim that they are being politically and racially persecuted. Donald Trump himself has used these claims when being asked why he's granted them entry when he's refused others.
Farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black makes no difference to me.
The South African government, on the other hand, disagrees with these claims, saying a refugee is someone being politically, religiously, or economically persecuted. They are not. Rather, South Africa's president said that the white minority make up the wealthiest in the country, earning on average more than 3 times as much as black South Africans. And according to a government 2017 land audit report, despite only making up roughly 7% of the population, white South Africans own 72% of South Africa's private farmland, while black South Africans make up more than 90% of the country's population, but only hold 4% of all privately owned land. In addition to this, a South African court recently ruled that the claims of white genocide in the country was, quote, clearly purely imagined and not real. However, the nuance there is that it doesn't mean that farm attacks and murders don't happen, because data from civil rights organizations show that they clearly do. But whether they constitute a genocide or even widespread racially motivated killings is heavily contended. In fact, the decision to class them as refugees is so divisive that it's got the freaking church picking sides. In a massive move, the Episcopal Church just terminated their 40-year-long partnership with the US government on refugee resettlement, saying that it refuses to support Trump's decision to prioritize white Afrikaners over other refugees. So the question is, what do you think?
Okay, I just want to comment on this Dylan Page. Dylan Page, as you know, is from South Africa and lives in England, in the United Kingdom. So, since he has a big following, a major following on TikTok and on YouTube, I mean, like, he can tell the truth on what is really happening in South Africa, because he knows for sure that there is no such a thing like that, a black genocide. Because I remember that when I came across an article, even despite that it is rare to hear this type of stuff in South Africa, but there was a news article which said that only one farm killing would happen like once a year, or but all of a sudden, like, they are making it as if every day there is a farm killing, you see. So we don't understand, but let's just continue.
There's one thing I really miss about South Africa. Like, we deal with trauma, we deal with chaos, we deal with pain, we deal with sensitive issues through humor. Anything happens in South Africa and there's a meme about it. Just read an article about the 49 Afrikaners who are immigrating to the US as refugees, and and the title of the article, or part of it, is The Great Tsek. Like, imagine, who is the genius that came up with that? You have to give South Africa props for just being just so funny. South Africa, you are so funny. I love it. I miss you guys.
So what this guy is talking about when he says Zek? So in South Africa, what Zek means, it means like to go away, but in a sort of like a vulgar way, like whereby you are swearing. Zek, like when they say Zek, they'll be like saying that these white people can fuck off, something like that.
Okay, so we get it now. It's not that you don't like immigrants. It's that you don't want the immigrants to be...
So the Afrikaners, they finally got what they wanted. You could see the smiles on their face. They're so happy to be in America. And this whole thing, it was so controversial. Many black South Africans, they were saying that these Afrikaners, they were living in privilege. But these people, they're saying that they are being brutally attacked, especially on their farms. And now, even Trump is saying that these attacks are happening. Look.
The genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white, but whether they're white or black makes no difference to me, but white farmers are being brutally killed, and their land is being confiscated in South Africa, and the newspapers and the media, television media doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about.
What do you guys think about this? Trump, he signed that executive order back in February, but now we're finally seeing the first wave of Afrikaners arriving in the US. I personally think Elon Musk, he asked Trump for a favor. That's why this is all happening. But what do you think? Comment below.
So now Trump is going to regret having knowing that you are not farmers, guys. You are not near farmers. And then you're just people who are looking for jobs. They are car minders, some are hobos. You just go there and actually look for job. That's what they're looking at. Someone is saying 30% pass rate that takes him to America as a refuge. Can these reasons make you a refuge? No. But let me just remind you. You're Hollanders. Ne? You're from Holland. You go to Africa, South Africa. You call yourself Afrikaners because of the geographical position of where you are. You call yourself Afrikaners, but you're still speaking a dialect from Holland, which is Afrikaans. Okay, it's fine, fair enough. And then we don't have any problem with that. We know the reasons why you call yourself Afrikaner. It's because you came to Africa. Okay? And you used Hollanders' dialect to call it Afrikaans. Okay, it's fine, fair enough. Let's talk about in America. In America, there's no Afrikaans. I don't know which dialect they're going to start using. It's cool because of your dialect here is official language. But in America, now it's going to be English. And one thing for sure is, are you still continue to call yourself Afrikaners? Because of the word Afrikaners was derived from the environment, from the geographical point where you are, which is Africa, from Holland. Now you're in America. You should be calling yourself Amerikaners, not Afrikaners. There's no reason anymore to call yourself Afrikaners. And then you should be suggesting to Trump that, please, may we have a language called Amerikaans. Maybe. I'm just tipping you. No, you need tips, man. You need tips. But this is a nonsense. You cannot just be a refugee because of you don't want 30% pass rate. Why can't you pass you 70%? Pass you 70%. Don't worry about that. If they say it's 30%, let their kids pass you 90%. It's not a problem there.
I do agree with this guy, whereby he says that all these immigrants, these refugees that flew to America, most of them, they are hobos. Some of them, they are, they could not get a job, but he is right that when they are that side, they are no longer Afrikaners. Now they are Amerikaners now. They are Amerikaners. Let's get that straight. They are now Charlize Theron and Elon Musk.
So South African farmers are fleeing to America because they allege that they are dealing with violence. And I'm confused because Donald Trump just gave them a fast track to become a U.S. citizen. He called what's happening over there genocide. Genocide? So we gotta be all the way real here. Why them? Why do they get the fast track over here to become citizens? There's people all over the world that's dealing with worse conditions than this. Refugees from wars, famines, real genocide. But they're not getting this special treatment like them. No, sir. So what makes this different for Donald Trump? This clearly looked like favoritism. The ultimate protection for the complexion. Trump, the same person that was trying to ban certain people from coming over here from over there. Y'all remember? And all of a sudden we got this open door. He feels so bad about them. When, like I said, there's a whole lot of people going through it, not just them. Somebody make this make sense. Y'all telling me I'm tripping? Do y'all think I'm tripping? So
make it make sense. Just make it make sense so that we all can understand. Why would he let the people in Syria, Iraq, all those war-torn countries, Gaza, you get what I mean, suffer, Congo, Ghana, no, not Ghana, sorry about not Ghana, but the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Why would he let people that side suffer and choose people who are privileged? what they call white privilege. It's like how they say, protect your own people, protect your own people, which is what he is doing. He is protecting his own people.
Now, I ain't trying to start nothing, but with those new Afrikaners, is that how y'all say it, coming over here, what you think those white veterans that voted for Trump, how you think they feel right now about that? What you think about all of these white people who voted for him that lost their jobs? What you think they feeling about it? About their mortgage payments, about the inflation? Do you think that they're celebrating these folks coming over here and getting housing and getting land given to them when they're immigrants? This is the main thing that those folks was complaining about, immigration, right? And now he's bringing folks in and putting them before his constituents. I'm going to tell you how I know that importing those South Africans was a huge mistake and it's not going to work. It's not going to work for them. What's going to happen when Donald Trump and that whole group is voted out and not in there? Because I'm going to tell you something that's going to happen, that's guaranteed, is that in those primaries next year, the Senate turning blue. The Senate and the House turning blue. This country is going to make sure they kick every last red person out who supported this man. You got MAGA people tired of him. You know it's deep when even his own group of people, a lot of them is tired. You think they're going to forget that? You think the police unions are going to forget that? You think the police unions are happy about those South Africans coming over here? Do y'all think that some of the Hispanics that are still here that voted for him, you think they're happy about that when some of their family members got kicked out? This is the dumbest administration I've ever seen, because they are doing counterculture. They're doing the complete opposite of what it would take to win the votes of their own people. Now, what's going to happen is, mark my words, when the Senate turn blue, they're going to pass legislation to ban immigrants from owning several acres of land. They're not, listen, watch what happens to them. Yeah, I feel bad. No, I don't. I take that back. Yeah, I don't feel bad. But that was a dumb move. They had land there already, and they're dealing with the drama back there. Hey, you're going to deal with the drama here because this government is going to snatch the land from you if you're an immigrant. You're not going
There is one thing that I can agree with her on this topic, is that what she's saying is true, because what Trump is doing, do you think that 8,000 Afrikaners that will come to America will assist him with votes in the next election and in the next state election? I don't think so. And what most of his own camp, his own clan, like the red states, how do they feel about the Afrikaners coming to America to come and do the farming, whilst the farmers were not getting farmers aid? Do you think that is gonna help? So I feel that it's gonna destroy him in votes. So he is shooting himself in the foot, whereby he will cause the Democrats to win the votes, or maybe there will be somebody who is a Republican, who is way better and who will make things right. But this doesn't fix anything of him migrating white South Africans to America.
Right, good day everyone. So before you scroll, I need you just to hear me out. So I see all these videos about the Afrikaner refugees that went to America. I see that some of the Americans are obviously not happy with that. And there's a lot of South Africans that got a lot to say about it. Now you guys must remember, the general public, like even me, I work in America. I go there for 10, 11 months. I come back to South Africa. I've got no intention of moving there. But you must remember the general public of Afrikaners never asked for this. But then you must remember, if you get a better opportunity in life, are you not going to take it? So these people that are leaving, for them it seems like a better opportunity. So just leave them, let it be. The people that's staying behind and making all the noise, these are the people that are happy with their circumstances and have no intention of leaving. We don't say anything about that. Well, not me, because I'm not a refugee. I'm not moving to America. But the people going there are not telling these people, you are stupid, you should come. They let them be, let them do what they want to do. If they want to stay, they must stay. And these people are only taking the opportunity because it's an opportunity that provided itself. All right? So if there's opportunity for you, whoever you are and wherever you are, for a better life, are you not going to take it? So people should stop complaining and bitching and moaning about these Afrikaners moving to America. At the end of the day, they will know after a while if it was the right move or not. And obviously there's a reason why they want to leave South Africa. I'm not going to go into that. Everybody knows what's going on. And I'm going to leave it there.
I think that what he's trying to say is that the reason why these white South Africans are moving is because they have all the money and now they want to take their monies elsewhere, or they want an opportunity to make more money elsewhere. That's what he's trying to say. But yeah, guys, I think that, Trump is shooting himself in the foot. I mean, like, he just made a small fire become a big fire. He just poured gasoline on a major fire. He poured petrol on a major fire. This what he's doing doesn't help. It is killing him. And I feel that he is doing somebody a favor. But people are not talking about it, but everybody can see it. Everybody on the ground can see it. And people in Congress and people in government, they won't go to him and say to his face that he is doing a favor for somebody. It's like that jet that he just got, that private jet. That is bribery, which is what we call a favor for a favor, whereby I think that because he recognized the Persian Gulf as the Arabian Gulf, all of a sudden now he gets a jet. Imagine that. But yeah, what more can I say? But despite that, guys, thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe, and let's meet up to the next one, and peace out.